Good morning, Harsh. Morning to all our viewers as well. It's been a sad weekend for all of France and Messi supporters. On the other side, England and Spain have been cheering all throughout the weekend. But just putting that aside and taking a look at what the global setup and global handover is looking like. From the US on Friday, very tempered moves coming in terms of how the market reacted. 1% lower on the S&P, 1.5% lower on the nasdaq. So in fact, negative day of trade coming in on Friday for the US. Other than that, if I take a look at the commentary, you've just heard the bite coming in from Donald Trump in terms of how they're planning to continue to attack Tehran in retaliation. Tehran has also continued its strikes on Kuwait, and Kuwait has said that on 18 July they've intercepted drone and missile attacks by Tehran on Kuwait, and Iran has also hit a desalinization plant in Kuwait. So that is the latest on the war. US has just announced that they have completed their 9th round of fresh strikes on Iran. So this war seems to only be escalating, and on the back of that, we've seen that a spike coming in crude prices. Before we talk about crude, just taking a look at what the global handover is looking like from Europe on Friday. Mixed day of trade, 0.3% lower for the stock 600. You had FTSE that was higher by about 0.2. CAC was lower by about 0.5%. DAX also lower by about 0.3%. So more or less, it's been largely tempered in terms of the move. But yes, mixed kind of trade coming in from the European market. Asia this morning is the one to watch out for, because while Australia is absolutely flat, Nikkei is shut today. The Japanese markets are closed for a public holiday, but remember, they've closed with a cut of 4% on an intraday basis on Friday. So we'll see how the global escalation has impacted Nikkei tomorrow. Other than that, Kospi continues to lose ground, 2 to 3% lower on that index early in the morning as well. On the flip side, you've got some very good moves coming in on Hang Seng, 2% higher. Shanghai also doing very well this morning, 0.5% uptick coming in on Shanghai. So that is the way the Asian markets have opened, largely mixed. But yes, Nikkei 4% cut is Friday's move, because the Nikkei markets are shut today. Shifting focus then, let's take a look at what crude and oil commodities have been doing. WTI oil has spiked 2.25% to $84.5 per barrel. On the flip side, if you take a look at Brent has now once again crossed $90 a barrel after a lot of weeks, after staying below that $80 per barrel mark and then jumping up to 85, 87, and now it's at $90 a barrel, 90.3 to be precise, and it's a 2.5% uptick coming in on the oil indexes this morning on the back of all the commentary that we've heard from Trump, from Iran, from Central Command, as well as from Kuwait. Let's take a look at what the precious metals have been doing. Gold continues to be as tempered as ever, 0.2% lower over there, but above that $4,000 an ounce mark. On the flip side, it's silver that is gaining some steam, 1.25% higher for that metal this morning, 56.9, so almost close to $57 an ounce is where silver is trading. While that's a roundup of all the global equities and commodities, quickly taking you through what the global comments have been. From agencies, we understand that the Fars news agency has said that Hormuz Strait to remain blocked while US malice persists. This is the national agency, and that's the news coming in over there. In retaliation, the US Central Command has said that forces began conducting new wave of strikes against Iran and strikes to continue degrading Iran's military capabilities on the Strait of Hormuz shipping corridor. That's the word that we're getting from the US side of things. Of course, we've heard from Trump saying that a word from Trump saying that they're ending any chance of Iran having a nuclear weapon. They've hit Iran very hard again in honor of 3 troops that lost their lives in Jordan. And to that, from agencies, we understand that Iran's Khamenei has said that US violation shows Trump's signature is worthless, and he is urging unity among public officials, and criticism shouldn't damage social unity, and Iran has had unforgettable lessons for the US, is the word coming in from Khamenei. In fact, Abbas Araghchi of Iran also says that there might not be the denuclearization to that extent possible that the US had thought earlier. Some amount of nuclearization will remain with Iran, and that's the word coming in. So lots of back and forth on Iran's nuclear plans and the opening and closure of the Strait of Hormuz. But that sums up the kind of global equities, commodities, and comments that we've been tracking over the course of the weekend. Back to you.